All right. Hello, friends. Today, we have a very remarkable guest joining us, someone who has achieved an incredible milestone uh, in the CA final May 23 exam. I am thrilled to introduce CA Meyyammai from Chennai and who has scored All India rank 42 in the previous exams. Welcome and heartiest congratulations, Meyyammai.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, sir. Thank you.
How does it feel now being a chartered accountant?
It feels truly surreal. That's the only word can actually describe how I actually feel right now. So it's just surreal, sir. Blissful.
Nice. And Miami, were you expecting a rank? I mean, how
Mm.
was it when you checked on your results?
Results, that was actually a different thing. I just checked my marks and I was very happy that I cleared. I wasn't expecting a rank, and even after I saw the result, I thought this would not be a rank definitely. But then my parents are like, you can just try once. What is a big mistake if you just type it in? And then it came as 42, and it was like truly a surprise.
Oh, nice. So did you check the rank part immediately, or you were like,
No.
okay, I have passed, settled down, and then after a few.
Exactly. That's how it went. Like almost 10 minutes, I was just jumping up and down that I cleared. After that is when I checked and it's like, okay, finally.
Finally a rank?
Yeah.
And then what did you do? You started jumping more?
Yeah. I was full happy tears, and that's how it was.
Nice. All right. So yeah, let me tell you, my friends, that Miami, she had taken CA final auditing classes with me. I mean, she attended few classes face to face in Chennai, and then she converted to recorded lectures because of the time conflict with the office. In this particular video, we are going to discuss a lot about how she prepared for the exams, about the strategies and all. So watch it till the end. It is going to be super useful for all of you. All right. So yes, my first question to you is, uh, what study techniques did you use during the preparation for your CA final exams?
I'm not sure if that would qualify as a technique, sir, but I started clocking myself every time I started studying because the initial few days I found it very difficult to bridge the gap, and from the office environment to move to a study mode, that was very difficult for me. So I took my phone and I used to clock myself every time I sat down to study, and most of the days it was only 5 hours or 6 hours. So I was not sure where it actually went in the initial days, and then that actually helped me a lot to know where I am standing right now and what else I will have to push myself for.
Nice. So you're saying 5 to 6 hours. So you started this 5 to 6 hours per day of studies. I mean, right after clearing CA intermediate, or it was just like before 6 months before your exams?
No, this was just during my exam leave.
Oh,
So
just
my
during your exam leave. Okay, all right.
yeah, that is when I started studying properly. I used to watch classes, but the study part of it was during the 4 months that I got.
Oh, so you watched all the lectures and attended all the classes, and during the last 4 months when you were on your study leave, you prepared extensively for the exams,
Yeah,
right?
the class part of it was also only like three classes I had completed in full. The others
Oh,
I
nice.
had half done, and a few I was going in person over here at Chennai. So that's how it
Oh,
was.
so in the last 4 months, you did some of your classes as well as the
No.
preparation part. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And as far as I know you, you have been doing your full-time office also. So I just want to know you, know this thing also. How did you like manage your time effectively while juggling with the classes, your own studies, and also the office part?
For me, it was a lot about the mindset, sir. Every day it becomes hectic. There are some days where you don't have much work, but on other days when it's too hectic, it's about the mindset. I made sure that I will have to complete this class, and in case I missed it out on a weekday, I used to cover it up during the weekends. So it was all about mindset for me to juggle between classes and the office commitment part.
That's incredible because I've seen, watching classes online or e-lectures requires a lot of discipline, and you have done it, you have done it in a very wonderful way that if you missed one class, you would ensure that you're watching it on weekends and all. That's really incredible. All right. Yes. And yes, any specific, okay, first question that I'd asked you was about technique, but now I would want to ask you about your strategy. Okay, so when you had started preparing for your exams, did you have any strategy in your mind? Were you preparing with the intention of getting a rank? And then probably I'll go into my subject also. So I would want you to tell us about the strategy, if any, you followed.
The rank part of it, that I did not have an aim as such, but I just wanted to get through, and all my levels were like in first goals. I wanted to make sure final also goes like that. So that was the only thing. For strategies part of it, I would say for me theory I used to read it out aloud, so it feels like it is somewhere registered in my mind. And the one thing that helped me the most was I took classes for theory subjects as well, especially auditing. I took it from you, and I found it comfortable because the way in which you took classes is the same way in which I prepared. So that was easy to start with standards and auditing, and then to cover the other audit part of it at the end. Made sure I had the conceptual clarity, like how you did in class. When I moved to the recorded classes, I used to take down notes when you were mentioning something or you took it down. I used to pause because we had that liberty of pausing and taking it down.
Right.
And also, I took EIS SM also from you, sir. So you used to tell us when you came here to Chennai that you can make notes which will help you on the last day. So that I did
Right.
on the first time of reading.
I still remember. I mean, you were in my first batch when I had come to Chennai, and you ended up scoring an exemption also in the ISSM, right?
Yes,
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 and I'm super happy to listen to hear this. That okay, what she's saying is that theory papers. This is what I always tell my or advise my students also, that when you read out loud, it basically helps you in two ways. I mean, you are seeing the notes as well as you are hearing it yourself. So I think
yeah.
the ability to retain the concept is higher when you read it out loud. But anyways, it depends on your personal preferences,
Perfect.
guys. But yeah, this is what Miami followed, and she got exemption in EISSM in inter level also. Now she has scored AIR 42 in the finals. Great, great. Awesome. Okay, so now can you tell me something about our subject of auditing? I mean, how did you prepare for it? What about the classes? How important do you think is understanding the concepts? Because now these days the paper has MCQ portion as well, and most importantly, focus on the standards portion, because a lot of students have the tendency to neglect the standards on auditing portion. Yes.
Yes, sir. As a student of Inter, I had no clue about the standards in auditing. Like just like how you told us on the first class, how students keep it to the last and then they do standards part of it. Uh, so it helped me a lot when I attended your live session than what was recorded. But I had to ultimately go back to the recordings. So the standards part of it, I still remember whenever I took out your note to read, I used to hear your voice, like how you explain like risk of material misstatement, how it is done, the way you teach, no sir. There are certain concepts that actually help me a lot. And in audit also, it all linked together. So we can't do
Right.
one particular chapter standalone, that you will be able to cover the other things. While I wrote my answers also, you gave us tips on how we will proceed. It's not just about
Mhm.
producing what is there in the book. So the key inputs that you gave here and there during classes actually helped me a lot. So that is how I prepared also, the exact same way in which we went for the classes. That helped me a lot. And the conceptual clarity is key. That is what I've been telling other people, and I've also told you to other people. So that's it.
Nice. Thank you. That really means a lot. Okay, so now we have discussed a lot about your techniques, strategies. Now, can you tell us how did you handle the examination pressure? 8 papers. How did you handle the pressure?
So initially, sir, there is an issue with me that I put myself under a lot more pressure than what is required. So that is always there. So I make sure that I am always on the grind or something. The one thing that I used to do is I talk to my parents and few other mentors that I have. At times I let it out. I just let it out. I cry and I feel better. But most of the times it was about talking to people who are senior to me or who can help me out. So that has helped me in one way. And the other thing that I realized during the exam day was when I look at all 8 subjects together, that creates a lot of pressure. When we take it one step
Right.
at a time, it becomes easier.
Right, right. So that's totally there. And so during those 1.5 days of time that you get before each paper, how did you manage those 1.5 days? Were you going through each and every topic of a given subject, or were you doing a kind of selective study, or you had done your own ABC analysis? How was it?
uh, I didn't have a selective study pattern kind of a thing, so, but there were certain topics wherein I felt if I take it on the last day, probably
Hmm.
I'll let the other part of it affect me. So, say suppose there is one particular topic which I'm not that comfortable and I want to force it in. I just did the rational thinking wherein if there is going to be a question from this chapter and it's going to be about 5-10 marks, just because I want that 5-10 marks, I didn't want to revise that on the last day and then take all
Right,
pressure. So it was
right.
about making notes like how you told that helped me on that 1.5 days to summarize and then finish it
Ah,
off.
exactly. So you had summary notes, or you must have summarized the topics in a
Yeah.
way that you were able to revise those during 1.5 days of time.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's amazing. All right, and you just told that you would cry on some days, and when the pressure keeps building up, or it keeps going up. And of course, so who were your biggest supporters? In their entire journey of CA, not just in the CA final part, but right from your foundation to intermediate or and the final level. Who do
Yeah.
you think were their biggest supporters?
Obviously parents and sister, that is a different story, but with regards to this, I would owe it all to my school teacher first, because there began my basics. So she used to
Nice.
tell always, debit and credit is always mine, so wherever you go the first part of it is hers. So one biggest supporter is her throughout, and then all my faculties throughout the CPT, inter and the final journey. And I would like to special mention, I would like to give it to Watson sir, because he has listened to a lot of my stories. Uh, so he was one biggest supporter that I wouldn't ever forget, or he was the key reason why I stand here.
Amazing. Yeah, let me tell you guys that Miami, she had uh, done her foundation, intermediate, and final, all three levels from Bharadwaj Institute, Chennai, right? Watson, sir, I'm also taking few subjects there. Great, great, great. So, and you were saying something about the parents part also.
Yeah, they were actually like they're not into the subject field of it, so that is a total different thing. So they are not aware of what happens, but they're always there to back me whenever I feel low, or the moment they trust me and they look at me with so much belief, I feel like okay, we can actually do this and make them proud a
I
little
can
more.
I can totally understand, because see, as a teacher, we can provide you mostly with, let's say, academic support and all, but I feel it personally, it's very important to have a more moral support or emotional support when you are preparing, and all this can come from the parents, and it matters a lot. Right, right, right. All right. So yes, again, I mean, you seem very serious now. I am too, like, happy and elated that yes, now, yes, you are a chartered accountant
So yeah, that is there. So, but I feel like I told, I feel pressurized a little more. Like there is a
now.
responsibility now, and probably will have to keep it up. So
Of course. Now, probably what you have to do in your career ahead and all, of course, these things will come into your head now. But these three levels of exams, foundation, intermediate, final, how has it shaped you as a person? Has it made any changes in you as a person?
uh, I actually realized that I am able to manage multiple tasks at a time. That I understood when, because inter I did it with my college, so that was
Mhm.
quite okay because college was on a lighter note. But this articleship period is when I realized, okay, this I am able to handle, and I actually liked it. To be honest, I liked it. I liked the pressure part of it because it kept me going. So it pushed me better to do better.
Right. So I also personally feel this particular course actually makes you realize your true potential. Do you agree
True,
with this? Yes or no?
true,
Yes.
true.
So as you're saying, like you did your intermediate with college, handling college and CA coachings together. Then once you cleared intermediate, handling the office, your studies, your
Yeah.
classes, audits. It's challenging, no doubt, but then at the end of the day, when you clear it, it all seems worthy, right? It makes
Yeah.
you, when you think about it, think about the last 2 years, probably it will make you feel happy and very contented and satisfied. So this is the beauty, I feel, of this
Yeah. True.
particular course. Yes, yes.
Mm.
All right, all right. So good talking to you. Now, one final question: what advice would you give to the students who are going to watch this video, especially with respect to the preparation part?
uh, I am not sure if people will be better in taking advice because I am not one. Probably if something that I can tell which will help them is to take it one step at a time. There will be days wherein you feel you don't, whatever you read goes above your head. On those days, it's okay to just let it go and rest rather than forcing ourselves to do something. It's just a waste of time. So you can probably take that 1 or 2 day break. There's no harm at all, and on some days there'll be you'll feel extra productive and there you can cope it up. So probably if they take one step at a time, they'll be there.
Basically, it's all about balancing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you get super exhausted or you feel burnt out already on a particular day, you have to just manage it on a day where you are more energetic or more
Yeah.
productive. That's a wonderful thing, strategy. And yeah, please go on.
Just one last thing, sir. Probably they will get to hear from a lot of people. There'll be stories from each one that work for them. So probably they can listen to it, but at the end of the day, they will have to look into what actually works for them and what makes them comfortable. So they will have to choose whatever. Just go by your instincts. That's what I did, and probably that's what.
Absolutely. See, as a teacher, if I also share some strategies to crack the exams and all, it might not be very much suitable to you. I mean, you might be a different person altogether. I mean, so basically, what she's trying to tell us is basically you have to customize your strategies as per your suitability, as per your own needs. Right, right, right. Nice. Nice. All right. Yes. Thank you so much for this amazing conversation. I hope the students who are going to watch it will really get benefited out of it. And thank you. I should thank you for,
No, no, thank you for having me here, sir. This has been there, and I'm not sure what I would have done for ASSM or audit in final if I hadn't, had the chance to come attend your class. So I'm really thankful and grateful to you for all the conceptual clarity and also this right now. Thank you.
I really appreciate that you like the classes, but ultimately it is your hard work which has paid off, and you should acknowledge it. You should accept it. Okay, you should probably just pat your back and be proud of yourself. All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Congratulations once again for this AIR 42, and I wish
Thank
you the very best in your life. Thank
thank
you
you,
so
sir.
much. All
Thank
right, yeah.